Good morning, sir.
Okay, so we have already given enough time for our participants to enter the Zoom meeting. Once again, welcome, good morning, and good afternoon to all of our participants. Welcome to the webinar on use of Mentimeter. And for a short welcome remarks, I would like to call on our Director General, Dr. Ramhari Lamichhane. Dr. Ram, please.
Hello, Mango. I think I will speak at last. Not
Yeah.
beginning.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So let me start.
So let's Mr. Sanyog's turn now. So
Okay. Distinguished participant, good morning from Nepal, and different part of the world, it's good afternoon. So it's great to be in this big forum where participants from many continents are present here, from Africa to Europe to Asia and Pacific. So it's great to be with all of you. So let me welcome you all to this webinar on using Mentimeter for Learner-Centered Teaching Learning. And as you know, how the importance of technology, I don't have to mention right now. The technology, the COVID-19 also add value to the technology, what the importance and how to know them, what are the technology available in this globally, and which technology is best fit for our occupation. So that's very important. And I also to know how to apply those technology is very important. So today I hope this webinar will be very fruitful to all the distinguished participants. So in whatever occupation you are in, but technology everywhere now, from health to agriculture, everywhere the technology is there. So it will be very, very interesting and very fruitful webinar, I hope. And today, so now let me introduce this program. This webinar is supervised by our respected Director General, Dr. Rahmat Lamitsani of CPSC. And we have two speakers, and I am your facilitator. I am Sonia Bhattrai. I am from Nepal, and I also work in CPSC. So let me briefly, first we have two presentation by two speakers, then we have a question and answer session, and at last this webinar will be closed by our Director General. So we have two speakers. One is Dr. Muhammad Mustafa Asad, and another speaker is Engineer Abdul Ghani Rajput. Fortunately, both are from Pakistan. So let me introduce briefly, very brief, because if I go all their biodata, anyway, you will not remember that, and it will be more confusing. So I'm going to give you very brief. Dr. Muhammad Mustafa Asad is serving as an assistant professor and lead researcher of educational technology and Tibet research at Sukur, IBA University, Pakistan. Dr. Mustafa has national and international working experience of more than 15 years at industrial and educational sector in the domain of educational technology in Tibet, work and product-based industrial education and competency-based education in Tibet. So later, Dr. Mustafa may give more insight about him. And another speaker is my colleague. We work together at CPSC, Engineer Abdul Ghani Rajput. He's also working as a faculty consultant in CPSC. He is an experienced and visionary Tibet expert with more than 12 years diversified experience in implementing Tibet and HRD policies, vocational qualification framework, capacity development of Tibet trainers, research in Tibet, and implementation of skill development plan with local and international organizations. So this is a brief introduction of both speakers. So now, without delay, let me welcome my colleague, Engineer Abdul Ghani Rajput, to proceed with his presentation.
Thank you, Sanyog. Thank you very much. Respected Dr. Ramhai Lamichani, distinguished participants, CPSC team, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon. Mabuhay, Salamat Pagi to all of you. Today, this webinar we have organized to deal with the challenge of the Industrial Revolution 4 as well as the impact produced by the COVID-19 on teaching and learning. That's why it is very important we should know how to use technology in our teaching and learning process. Let me give you a context about this webinar. You know, since last 1.5 years, or I can say more than 1.5 years, we all are trying to use technology, and we all are delivering number of training programs on pedagogy and digital technology to be used in teaching and learning process, or to be used in our profession. Majority of the program which I have noticed, which I have seen, they more talk about vocational pedagogy or teaching pedagogy, or on the other hand, the other programs they talk about ICT in education, ICT technology and Tibets. What I have noticed that there is a difference between vocational pedagogy and ICT technology. A teacher from TVET professional, he knows how to use vocational pedagogy in order to deliver lesson plan, in order to deliver a specific topic to our learner. But majority of the professions, especially in TVET sector, they are still lacking how we have to incorporate ICT technology in our teaching and learning process. So there is a difference between, vocational pedagogy and the ICT technology. So the difference is a gap. We have to understand that difference, and we have to come up solution for that difference. That's why we have organized this webinar for you in order to talk about how to overcome the difference between the vocational pedagogy and the ICT and technology. How you are going to select, how you are going to use technology in order to successfully deliver vocational pedagogy. Pedagogy has number of aspects, delivery and assessment, monitoring, and so on. So we should know the gap, and that gap should be overcome through a relevant theory or through a specific model. So today we are going to talk about some aspects of the vocational pedagogy, because vocational pedagogy, I mentioned you, it's a broad term. We are not going to discuss all the elements of the vocational pedagogy, and we are not going to discuss all the technology, especially related to the ICT technology in teaching and learning process. But we are give you sense, we are give you model, we are provide you relevant theory that can be applied to any of the scenario that can enhance your competencies in order to successfully use your ICT technology in any of the elements of the vocational pedagogy. So let me share my presentation. So it's now uploading. All right, so sorry for the interruption. I hope now my presentation is visible to all of you. Sanyogji, is it visible? Mango?
Yes, Kainiji. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Make it
Thank you.
make it full
All
screen.
All right. So as per my context scenario, which I just explained to you, I decided to use the title shaping up TVET, use of collaborative tools for learner-centered learning. So nowadays we all are focusing towards student center approach. That's the modernized approach, and that's the uh, 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 nowadays very important approach. That's every researcher, every TPEG professional focusing how we have to enhance the student center approach by using number of practices. So one of the practices is to use the ICT technology. So now these are the points to be discussed in my session. Number one is the changing context. We are going to discuss about the context like the COVID-19. Then we'll discuss the 21st century skill framework. Then it's very important. We will talk about what is ICT and what is ICT literacy. You will find number of definitions are there, but we have to understand what is ICT and ICT literacy with regard to 21st century skill framework. Then, as I mentioned, that we are going to talk about TPEG and SMAR models. That's very important to integrate technology in your teaching and learning process. Then we will discuss collaboration tools, then followed by practical demonstration, conclusion, and way forward. So these are the points I'm going to share with you in this my session. So before I'm going to start my presentation formally, I want to know your expectation. So may I request all distinguished participants, please, you can use your device, any of the device, maybe mobile phone, computer, laptop, tablet, and you can open your Explorer bar and type www.menti.com and use the code 56693582. So may I request once again all of the participants, please open your device, open your Explorer bar in any of the device and use the link www.menti.com and use the code 56693582. So Mango, please type the code in the chat box. So I'm going to stop this screen sharing. I'm going to share my next screen to all of you. I hope you can connect with me through the code which I have provided to you. So screen is also visible to you and code is also visible to your screen on the top of the screen. So once again, may I request all the distinguished participants, please you can open your Explorer bar and type www.menti.com, use the code. Okay. All right. So you see one of the participants, he or she responded and just he said not applicable. So all right. So another participant, he responded or she responded. They are saying they're interested to more knowledge. Okay, definitely. That's why we have arranged this webinar. Interesting. All right, that's good. So that's not an expectation. So we are really interested to know your expectation from today. Okay, engaging how to use Mentimeters and its application into TPEG. Definitely, we are going to talk about operational skills about Mentimeter. Okay, we will talk about it. Learn more learning techniques using ICT. To know more knowledge regarding on it, definitely that's knowledge we are going to share. That's why we have arranged this webinar. Engaging activities for learning, fields of use Mentimeter. Okay, learn new skills. So definitely this expectation will cover. All right, more example to explain. Yes, we are going to share you more example in this session. Learn new ICT things. That's definitely fun. Okay, optimal use of Mentimeter, use of Mentimeter debate, how to use Mentimeter by instructor to learn skill about utilizing Mentimeter in the learning process of students. You see, that's all majority of the participants, they have an opinion how to use Mentimeter. For that purpose, it is very important. We have to share you how to create your account, how to develop a presentation on the mentimeter.com. So these are your expectations. Definitely we are going to cover. Okay, so exciting. Thank you very much. You are enjoying. Want to react collaborative test? Okay, that's good. That's we are going to talk about. I mentioned you in pedagogy, we have number of elements like assessment, delivery, and the monitoring. So we will more focus towards the assessment part. Then learning, gain knowledge on ICT. Okay, so as per your expectation, my conclusion is that you all are interested to learn how to use Mentimeter, how to engage your learner with the help of the collaborative tool. You are really interested to more about ICT technology. Okay, that's good. So let's give me a good knowledge about you that you are really interested to learn. So I'm going to share my next slide. So be ready. to respond to my next question. Make sure in the next question there will be two text boxes will be displayed. So make sure you can use one text boxes for one definition, another text boxes for other definition. So here is the next question. I hope it is displayed to your device. What is ICT and ICT literacy? As I mentioned in my second slide that we are going to talk about ICT and ICT literacy. So it's very important. You should know what is ICT because we all are moving towards the digitalization of TVET system. That means we are shaping up TVET. So you will find number of definitions are there in literature in Google search. But I really interested to know your understanding about the ICT and ICT literacy. So let's see. Okay, so one response is the technology, information communication. Okay, bridging digital divide, technology. Okay, digitalization. All right. So thank you very much, all the distinguished participants. You are responding very quickly, which means that you know the definition of ICT and ICT literacy. That's excellent. That's lovely. All right. So know about of digitization, bridging digital device. ICT is a technology. Okay. You see. So communication technology. So that's good. All right. So information. Okay. Information and communication. Technology, internet, computers. So you see, every person has their own definition with regard to ICT and ICT literacy. So majority of the participants, they are responding, especially one definition, what is ICT. But here are, I'm asking two things. Number one, ICT and ICT literacy. So make sure you have to respond in one text box, one definition, or in 1 to 2 keywords, and another text box you can use to explain ICT literacy. All right, so you see this cloud word is generated, and in this cloud word, you can notice that the highlighted word, the more brighted word are technology, information communication, digital communication, which means that majority of the participants their understanding is that the definition of ICT is technology, means they are saying ICT is about technology, ICT is about information communication, ICT is about digital communication. So that's why these three keywords are more brighted, and because majority of the participants, their understanding is that ICT is all about technology, is all about communication technology, is all about information communication. Okay, so that's good. So lovely. You know the ICT, but I'm also interested to know about the ICT literacy because 21st century, it's all about, three skills and competencies. We are going to discuss later on. All right. So that's good. We have received responses from majority of you. I like it. So the conclusion is that you, in your point of view, majority of the point of view is that technology, information communication, communication technology, digital communication, these are the definition of the ICT. That's why these words are more brighted. Okay, now I'm going to share my next screen. So please be ready to respond to my next question. So still participants, they are responding, they are connecting with the Mentimeter. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to share my next screen. Please be ready. So I received the knowledge which I mentioned in my question. So that's good. Okay, next question. Please be ready to respond it. All right. Okay, this is the next question. Do you have any idea about TPEG and SRM model? All right. So far, two participants, they have responded. 4, 8, okay, 12. All right, 16, 17, 19, okay, 21, 24, 25, 27, 28, 31, okay, 36, 38, 40, okay, 41. So you see participants, they are responding. Very good. All right. So last time, almost more than 50 participants, they have responded. So far, only 45. So still some of the participants, they have to respond. Okay. All right. 47, 48, 49, and 50. All right. I'm truly speaking is that that's a good information which I have quoted right now from you. That's the thing we are going to share that's new for you, and that's the learning, that's the takeaway for you. We are going to share relevant theory, relevant model to overcome the gap between the pedagogy and the digital technologies. That model can help you to overcome the gap, to overcome the problem. So that's a good knowledge. So I hope you will enjoy to learn more about the TPEG model, SAMR model, in order to integrate technology in your teaching and learning process. So these are the relevant theory and relevant model. So you see how I use technology in order to collaborate with you. Number one benefit, you see how I get the important information. You see, this is 86%. It's a very big number. Right now, 160 participants are sitting over here, and I can generalize is that 86% participants, they said that they don't know about the TPEG and SAMR model, SAM model. So which means that what we are going to share you, that's a new takeaway, and that will enhance your competencies, skills in order to integrate technology in your teaching and learning process. So thank you very much, dear participants, to collaborate with me with the use of the menti.com. So I'm going to stop this screen sharing. So I like your engagement. You are very proactive. You are really interested to learn. So we are going to share you more about these things. Thank you. Thank you, Felix. Okay, so we have done the expectation part, and I'm sure we are going to cover all of your expectation in this session, and in the next session, which will be delivered by Dr. Mustafa. He will discuss more on detail. So let me share my another slide. Okay, the context. You see, the context is very important nowadays. In this world where we are living nowadays, that on daily basis, the context is changing. No matter it is for a specific country, no matter it's the global world. Okay, like in the COVID pandemic, at the start of the COVID, the context was suddenly changed. Those people who never used the technology, they started to use the technology. You see, because of the COVID. Similarly, the advent of the Industrial Revolution 4, now we are moving towards the Industrial Revolution 5, which shows that the context is changing, which means that time is totally different day by day. So what is the reason behind is that there are three reasons. Number one is speed. Number two, breadth and depth. Number three, system impact. Speed means that the change is nowadays very exponential. See, you can observe anywhere there are number of new technologies are inventing day by day. There are new businesses are emerging day by day. So you see, change is very exponential. And the breadth and depth, which means that nowadays we are trying to combine different technology with multiple technology to get benefit, to get value addition in our process. For instance, vocational pedagogy, we are trying to combine digital technology to get value addition to our learners. So that's the breadth and depth. That's another example. There are a number of examples are there. And the system impact. The third change is this system impact involves transformation of entire system across countries, companies, societies, and government. You see, the system is transforming. System is shifting from traditional to modernized system. For instance, in this webinar, you see some of the participants, they are sitting in Sudan, some are sitting in Malaysia, some are sitting in Pakistan, and their time difference is totally different. In Fiji, right now it is evening time. In Pakistan, it's morning time. In Philippines, it's you see, it's day afternoon time. So total, you see, we are transforming and we are using technology to deliver our session. So that's a system impact. So you see, these are the three reasons. The time is different and the context is changing day by day. How this context we have to adopt, we have to react with the context. That for that purpose, the 21st century skills framework is developed. In this framework, there are 4 core skills, 4 core competencies are defined. Number one, life and career skills. Number 2, learning and innovation skills. Number 3, information media technology skills. Number 4, core subject related skills. So you see, these are the 4 core skills has to be adopted by each of the TVET professional, each of the educator. And now in this program, in this session, we are more talking about information media and technology skills. Now, if you go in more depth, what is information media and technology skill in 21st century? So it's include information literacy, which means that a professional TVET educator should know information literacy, should know media literacy, should have competency in ICT literacy. So these are the skills included in the ICT in the 21st century framework ICT part, ICT component. Now we are going to discuss one by one what is ICT. You see, as I earlier mentioned that there are number of definitions are there. You shared your idea with us. Some of saying there's a technology, communication, information, digitalization. Here is the core definition: is the ICT. What is ICT? ICT basically it's consists of device and system. Okay, that support that used to acquire, process, manage, manipulate, transfer, store, and disseminate information. Okay, so for example, right now we are using ICT technology in order to deliver our session to all of the participants. So you see in this session, what we are system is processing the information, it's managing the information, it's manipulating the information, it's transferring the information, it's storing the information. That's all about ICT. So information through electronic media, it's also called ICT. So it's involved numerous types of technology. Okay, so we are going to talk about more and what is what is the role of the technology. Let's anyone can share me what is the role of the technology. You can type on the chat box as per your understanding. What do you think? What is the role of the technology in our life? What is the role of the technology? Okay, so you see, used to connect learning, and Sabah Sadiq self grooming. Okay, making things easy, and if that's the right answer, Dr. Abdul Qadir, I agree with you. Making things easy and effective. That's a good answer. I like it. Changing the way of work easy. Okay, make our work more easy. Ganga, very good. So you see, you know that. So basically, the role of technology is to make life more simpler. Simplification. So that's the role of the technology. We should know that. Now, what is ICT literacy? So you should know a set of knowledge needed to enable one to select and use technology based on different needs, based on different contexts, which means that you should have a knowledge what technology we are going to use in order to successfully deliver our teaching and learning process to students, in order to successfully conduct assessment, in order to successfully deliver the lesson to our students. So that's knowledge you should have it. How you will get that knowledge? For that purpose, you have to learn relevant theories and relevant models and the programs like these programs, where we are going to more share you ICT literacy in order to develop your skills and competencies to select best technology as per your context and as per your need. So now as a TVET educator, how you are use technology in our classroom, that's you have to understand, because you are a TVET professional, you should know how you are going to use technology in your classroom. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the program, there is a difference between technology and pedagogy. So we have to overcome that difference. How we have to overcome that difference? We should understand the we should use the relevant model and the relevant theory. So there are 3 core elements right now. If you go in past, maybe you can say there were two core elements, like you can say in the Bloom taxonomy, only pedagogy and the content. But now there is another element is added, that's the technology. Now there are three elements: technology, pedagogy, and the content, which means that each TVET educator should have competencies on pedagogy skills, on should have competencies on technology skills, should have competencies on content, core content skills. All right, so these are the nowadays core skills you should have. What is important for you? That's important. You should now try to club these three elements in order to successfully deliver your lesson, in order to successfully conduct assessment your student. So you see, these are combined together, and the core part, you see this part, this green part is important, which means that three circles are intersect to each other, and you should have this knowledge. You see, that's the green part. And what is the green part? Green part is the TPEG model. TPEG model. Okay. So what is stand for TPEG? You have to first understand. T stand for technological knowledge, which means that you should have knowledge about how to use the technology in order to successfully deliver teaching and learning practices to our students. Second, P stand for pedagogical knowledge. You should have pedagogical knowledge. I know that you all expert on it. And the third one is the content knowledge. Content knowledge are the core subjects like the skills and strategy knowledge. And K stand for the knowledge. So there's the TPEG. TPEG abbreviation. Here is the TPEG model. You see what is TPEG? So it highlights the kinds of knowledge required by teacher for the effective integration of technology in the classroom. So you see, it will give you a sense how to integrate technology in your classroom. You see the three circles, and then the center circle that where each circles are intersect, which is the TPEG model, technological pedagogical content knowledge model, which is called TPEG model, TPEG theory. Now it means that you should learn, you should know three important aspects: technological aspect, pedagogical aspects, and the content aspects. Now here we are more talking about the technological aspect. Now I'm going to show you one video, and that video will give you how technology is integrating in our classroom. So let me start my video. Okay, I have to stop here. I have to share video to other software. Otherwise, it will be a little bit delayed. Okay. I have to share this screen. Okay, I hope my screen is visible to you. Please enjoy the video.
Teachers at this primary school in China know exactly when someone isn't paying attention. These headbands measure each student's level of concentration. The information is then directly sent to the teacher's computer and to parents. China has big plans to become a global leader in artificial intelligence. It has enabled a cashless economy where people make purchases with their faces. A giant network of surveillance cameras with facial recognition helps police monitor citizens. Meanwhile, some schools offer glimpses of what the future of high-tech education in the country might look like. Classrooms have robots that analyze students' health and engagement levels. Students wear uniforms with chips that track their locations. There are even surveillance cameras that monitor how often students check their phones or yawn during classes. These gadgets have alarmed Chinese netizens. But schools say it wasn't hard for them getting parental consent to enroll kids into what is one of the world's largest experiments in AI education. A program that's supposed to boost students' grades while also feeding powerful algorithms. 为了就是国家的这个研究呀、发展呀，我觉得是没有问题。The government has poured billions of dollars into the project. bringing together tech giants, startups, and schools. We got exclusive access to a primary school a few hours outside of Shanghai. To see firsthand how AI tech is being used in the classroom. For this 5th grade class, the day begins with putting on a brain wave sensing gadget. Students then practice meditating. The device is made in China and has 3 electrodes, 2 behind the ears and 1 on the forehead. These sensors pick up electrical signals sent by neurons in the brain. The neural data is then sent in real time to the teacher's computer. So while students are solving math problems, a teacher can quickly find out who's paying attention and who's not. A report is then generated that shows how well the class was paying attention. It even details each student's concentration level at 10-minute intervals. It's then sent to a chat group for parents. The reports are detailed, but whether these devices really work and what they exactly measure isn't as clear. We were curious if the headbands could actually measure concentration, so one of our reporters tried on the device.
This is a new technology with still fairly little research behind it.
Theodore Zanto is a neuroscientist at the University of California, San Francisco. He was surprised to learn that this tech, called electroencephalography, also known as EEG, is being used in the classroom on children. It's usually used by doctors in hospitals and labs.
EEG is very susceptible to artifacts. And so if you are itchy or just a little fidgety or the EEG wasn't set up properly so that the electrodes didn't have a good contact, it affects the signal.
Despite the chances for false readings, teachers told us the headbands have forced students to become more disciplined.
上课回答我的问题，就是他们的声音会比平常更响亮。
Teachers say the students now pay better attention during class, and that has made them study harder and achieve higher scores.
上课认真听讲，作业做的基本上是全对的。
But not all students are as enthusiastic. This 5th grader, whom we caught dozing off in class, told us his parents punish him for low attention scores. And that kind of data adds a new kind of pressure for students.
如果在一次考试全班人都考了95分以上，就你考了一个85，感觉你有一个。
Companies we interviewed said the data can go to government-funded research projects. We spoke to parents who were unclear about where the data ended up, and they didn't seem to care too much. Santos says there's likely no privacy protection at all.
In a classroom, if you're trying to make an assessment of an individual student, you really can't anonymize it.
Experts and citizens alike are sounding alarms about various aspects of the country's huge push into artificial intelligence. These classrooms are laboratories for future generations. And while these new tools may potentially help some 200 million students raise their grades, just how this all works out won't be apparent until they become adult citizens.
All right, so I hope you enjoy the video and you understand the video. The idea behind to share this video is that, you know, in future, right now we have limited technology in our profession, but within 5 to 10 years, you will see these kind of technology will come to into developing countries as well. So are you ready? Are you prepared to handle these kind of AI based technology? Because everything is nowadays, it's Industrial Revolution 4, or digitalization. So that's very important for us. We have to understand what is technology, how to adopt technology, and how to link with your pedagogies in your classroom. So that's why it is very important to you to learn to read more about the TPEG model and start integration of technology in your practices. Now we are going to share another model. That's the SAMR model. That's it's more detailed model, which like a Bloom taxonomy. It's the, I can say, it's an updated version of the Bloom taxonomy, but it's more focused towards the integration of technology in your classroom. So SAMR model was created by Ruben. Okay, his model differentiates how technology is integrated into educational curriculum. This will break down each level. So here you see S stand for substitution, which means that you are conducting assessment, and but instead of traditional assessment, you are going to use technology, which means that functionality of the assessment will not change, but you will replace with the technology. So which fall under substitution. That act as a direct tool substitute with no functional change in your teaching and learning process. Augmentation, similarly, it's little bit functional improvement. So tech act as a direct tool substitute with little bit improvement in the functions. So that's the enhancement. Third is the modification. M stand for the modification. So text allow for significant task redesign. So for instance, lesson plan, you are developing your lesson plan by using a pencil. You can use Word or Microsoft Google documents to write down your lesson. So that's the modification. Redefinition, R stand for redefinition. Text allow for the creation of new tasks previously incomprehensible. So it help you to easily develop your new tasks. So you see, so SAMR model is very good model. It has two core element: enhancement. Under enhancement, there are two steps: substitution and augmentation. And the second is the transformation. Under that one, we have modification and redefinition. So once again, I'm going to share another video which will explain you more about SAMR model and share you number of applications, ICT tools that will help you to collaborate with your students. So once again, I have to stop this screen sharing. I have to share my screen over here. So I hope my screen is visible to you. Still loading. All right, so I hope my screen is visible to you. So please watch the video and understand more about SAMR model.
SAMR, explain. Ready to learn about SAMR? We're going to focus on the 5 W's to help you learn all about it. So let's get started. Who created SAMR? Well, it was made by Dr. Ruben Fuentedora. He's the founder and president of Hyphasis, a consulting firm in Western Massachusetts. He regularly explores mobile computing, digital storytelling, learning analytics, and educational gaming. Well, what is it exactly? SAMR stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, redefinition. It's a model designed to help educators integrate technology into teaching and learning. The model aims to enable teachers to design, develop, and integrate digital learning experiences that lead to high levels of achievement for students. So, in other words, it's a model used to select, use, and evaluate technology to use in your school or classroom. S stands for substitution. At this level, technology acts as a direct tool substitute, no functional change. Teachers are using technology to replace traditional tools. For example, instead of having your students write out an essay by hand, you allow them to use Microsoft Word or Google Docs. The task of writing the essay is exactly the same, but the students are using a technology tool instead of a writing utensil. A stands for augmentation. Here, technology acts as a direct tool substitute with some functional improvement. For example, when students create an assignment on Google Docs, instead of having to print it out and share it with their teacher, they can share it via email. Or instead of taking a paper and pencil quiz, students complete a quiz on Google Forms. Students receive immediate feedback on the score. M stands for modification. In this part of the model, technology allows for significant task redesign. This is the first step in the model where the traditional tasks happening in the classroom begin to transform. For example, adding comments and collaborating on Google Docs provides immediate feedback for students. R stands for redefinition. Technology allows for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. You'll see a lot of collaboration, discussions, and creating with technology in this part of the model. For example, a classroom is asked to create an ebook on a curriculum topic. Groups are assigned to work on subtopics. Heavy collaboration occurs, research is conducted using various sources, and students use an app to create the ebook with embedded videos, photographs, and audio. The final ebook is posted on the classroom website for parents, administrators, and others to view. Well, where should the SAMR model be used? Any place where learning occurs, such as the classroom, school, or library. Well, when should teachers refer to the SAMR model? Anytime you're planning for your lessons, reflecting on previous lessons, or when a new piece of equipment or software is placed in your classroom. Well, why should teachers refer to the SAMR model? Kathy Schrock created a great infographic to show the comparison between the SAMR model and Bloom's taxonomy. Essentially, students should work their way up the model, with the highest goal being that students advance their learning in a transformational manner. As they work their way up the model, students are using higher order cognitive skill levels. Here's some apps that correlate with each level in the SAMR model. Please note that some of these apps could fit into more than one category.
All right, so I hope you enjoy the video and you understand the SAMR model, and it's very well explained in this video, especially what is it, how to use, why teacher use it, and so on. So it's a good model, and at the end, in this model, they shared number of different applications that can be used to engage your learner. So, and you can explore more applications are there. Just go and explore about the SAMR model. You will enjoy and you will like it. So now I am going to share my PowerPoint presentation again. All right, so here is it. So you see, we have discussed relevant models that are very relevant for you in order to integrate technology in your classroom, in your school, in your TPEG institution, and so on. Now moving towards more specific towards the online collaboration. Okay, we are going to talk about the Mentimeter. So we discussed the context, we discussed the models. Now we are moving towards in more depth. There's the use of the technology. There are number of tools are there. So we are not going to discuss in all the tools in more detail, especially on the Mentimeter.com. So you see that here is the reasons why we use the collaborative tool, because it's allow you to you can collaborate remotely with your students, with your audience, with your trainees, and it helps you to engage learner, and it enhance the levels of the learning. It's enhance the executive assignment better, and so on. So that's why we use. So why already covered in previous slides. So one of the example is the Padlet tool. So you can go, you will find that's a very good tool that can be used to engage your learner, and that's a tool which allow you to share your assignment with the students, and students will respond, or teachers will respond, and there are number of uses are there. Each of the tools offer number of functionality. It's up to you how to use and how to realize in your context. So like Padlet has supports different time zones. So a student contributes to videos file. They can respond on video files. They can respond on image file. They can respond chalkboard and so on. That's a very good tool. You can explore it. Here is the it's Snap. So it's a free app, and you can apply in your teaching and learning process. I'm not going to discuss how to use it because we are here more focused towards the Mentimeter.com. We will explain you how to develop a presentation in the Menti.com. So like other tools are here, Skype, Zoom, Google Drive, WeTransfer, Escapelab, Microsoft Translator, Teamwitch, and other thousands of tools are there. Here, just I mentioned these tools you can use to collaborate with your students, to collaborate with your learner. Now moving towards the Mentimeter. Okay, so Mentimeter nowadays very popular engaging tool, or I can say a collaborative tool in educator community, in professional communities, and they are using this tool in order to communicate with with audience, with participants. I heard about it first time when I was in ADB forum in 2019 in Philippines. So they in that forum, thousands of people are attending that forum. That was the face-to-face, and they used this Mentimeter at that time. So I was very impressed, and I at that time I realized I should use this Mentimeter in order to collaborate with my students. So now I'm transferring my knowledge to all of you. I hope you will use and you will apply, and then you will transfer to other colleague in your system, in your institution. So Mentimeter, you see, it's very simple tool, very simple application, and it's like a PowerPoint. And I know that you all are expert on PowerPoint, and you can easily prepare your presentation. Similarly, you can prepare your presentation with the help of the Mentimeter.com. So it's help you to build interactive presentation with easy online editor. So it's an online tool, and it's not you cannot scroll to your standalone computer. You can access through the cloud server. Okay, so it's an online editor. At that editor, you can go and design your presentation. In your presentation, you can add questions, you can conduct survey, you can conduct assessment, you can include quizzes, you can include images, and so there are many elements are there, and you can create fun and engaging presentation. When we prepare it, after that you can engage it. So the engagement method is that the learner can use any of the device, maybe smartphone, tablet, computer, laptop. It's up to the device. So this system support any of the device. So that's the engagement way. That's you can engage your learner in a real time environment, and they to create fun and to create more interactive experience. And the third one is the follow-up. That's very important. After your engagement, definitely you want to share your expectation, or you want to conduct analysis on the results, on the engagement. So that's supported by the Mentimeter. So after that, you can measure the progress, because it will share you the results on your email in an Excel file. Based on your results, you can analyze the result, and you can interpret it, and you can provide the feedback to your students. So that's the beauty of the Mentimeter.com. And second important element is that it's not an open source software. Okay, because it's very popular, very famous nowadays. So it's you have to buy a plan. Okay, plan is very cheap, but normally they are offering up to 6 slides you can prepare free of cost, up to 6 slides. But after that, if you are really interested to have more slides, definitely you have to buy the plan. Okay, that's I want to share with you because it's a very popular and very famous tool nowadays in our community. That's why it's not a free and you have to buy a plan. Third thing is that it has two interface. Number one is the design interface. Number two is the execution interface. So in the design interface, you have to develop your presentation. For that purpose, you have to go www.mentimeter.com, where you can design your presentation. For the execution purpose, for the engagement purpose, they have another interface, another website, which is called www.menti.com. So you should know this difference in order to successfully interact with your learner, with your participant. Now here are the collaboration process. So here these are the stages. So how you are going to develop for the purpose of the assessment or for the purpose of the collaboration with your audience, with your students. So stage number one is the preparation. So in the preparation phase, you have to prepare the Mentimeter question based on the lecture content, or based on your scenario, based on your like I prepare the presentation in order to conduct the expectation part. Okay, that's why I conducted the expectation part in order to give you a sense. So now you have a sense how Mentimeter was working. You know, my third slide was on expectation management. So first stage, you have to prepare presentation. Second, also check the Mentimeter presentation if it works properly. Very important for you when you develop it, you have to ensure that you have to check it using both of the interface, one the design interface and the execution interface. You check presentation working properly or not. So that's the stage number one. Stage number two is the present. So present Mentimeter questions after the session, after the lecture, to all of the students. Is up to you. You can present before the lecture, before the session. It's totally up to you. Let the student read and understand the question. Okay, you have to give the time. They have to read and understand the question, and they can respond it. The third stage is the answer. They can respond it. So let the student give answer anonymously. Okay, that's the one possibility. Another possibility, they can write their name and their name will be displayed as well. If necessary, let them get help from the peers to answer the questions. Or that is also, you can allow to pair of students, they can respond to the question, and monitor the student participation and answer on the screens. That's the beauty of the Mentimeter.com. So this is the third stage, and the fourth stage is the discussion. So after the student responded, they provide the answer, you have to move towards the discussion part. So discuss the result with the students, let them discuss the result with their peers. If necessary, let the students answer by presenting Mentimeter question again without the answers. If there is a need, you can reattempt it, you try it. Okay, maybe some students are not clear, so do it again, give them solution, further discussion, proceed to the next Mentimeter question until the question finish. So that's the discussion part. So it means that you have to discuss with your students during the collaboration process. And the finally is to collect and share, which means that the results should be collect and share with your students when the session is over, and you can do the analysis of the student performance. So these are the 5 stages which define the overall process of the Mentimeter application. Now I'm going to demonstrate you how to develop a presentation on the Mentimeter.com, because there was the expectation how to use it. So some of the part I already covered. Now I am going to share you how to develop it. So I have to stop screen sharing. So I have to go once again to Mentimeter.com. All right, I hope my screen is visible to you. So it's very simple. As I earlier mentioned to you, it has 2 interfaces. Number one is the design interface. For design interface, you have to go www.mentimeter.com. Okay, just enter it. Okay, when you will enter, it will open this page where you can create your account. Okay, so which means that sign up. So I already have an account. That's why it's directly open. to go to dashboard. So like if you do not have account, it will ask you to create your account, or you can link your account with Google. So that is also possible. That says a functionality. You can link your account with Facebook. There are number of options are there, and account will be created within 2-3 minutes. All right, so I already have accounts. I already logged in, so just I have to click over here my presentation. When I click on my presentation, it will directly link to my dashboard. So in this dashboard, you will see there are 3 core parts are there. Number 1, on the left hand side, it shows 3 links: my presentation, inspiration, and branding and colors, where you can change the colors of your app, where you can change the theme of the app. It's up to you, can change it. Then the second part is the new presentation, where when you click, it will open the design area where you can design the presentation. Third part is the existing presentation. So these are my existing presentation, so which I have developed since long time. So these are my existing presentation. Now I'm going to click on the new presentation, because we are going to demonstrate you how to use Mentimeter to develop a presentation. Just click here, new presentation. So first you have to write down the title of the presentation. So webinar test. Okay. Just click on the create presentation. Okay, when you will click on the create presentation link, it will directly open the design interface. In the design interface, you will see it's similar look like the PowerPoint presentation. All right, on the left hand side, these are the slides where slides will display. On the center, it will show the current slide. Okay, in the more zoom more brighted. Okay, means the main slide is display in the center. On the right hand side, you see there are type of slides is there. Okay, there are different type of slides are there, and on the first one, first in the first row, they shows the popular question types, popular slides types are there. The second one is the quiz competition slides are there, and the third one is the content, where you can display the content to students. Okay, means you want to display the specific knowledge to your student, you can use these content slides. Then there are advanced slides which have like who will win. If you have an assessment part, then who will win it, his name will display, her name will display, 100-point slides, and so on. So you see some of these slides are they always develop new types. Like these are the new they developed recently. Like if you want to display a video by using Mentimeter presentation, you can use this type of slides. Okay, so these are. So for example, you want to select a type is the multiple choice for the assessment purpose. Okay, you can use this multiple choice. Just click it. It directly copy the type to the main slide. Okay, so you see it's copied over here. But here is the properties which you have to change it. So for instance, the first property is your question. You can write down the first question. Maybe you can say what is SMAR. Okay, what is SMR model? So that's a question. Here you can put the options. You can say it's a technology model. It's an integration model. All right, and you can say none. It's up to you. Okay, so these are the options are displayed over here. You want to add image to your option, just click here. Okay, so you simply image can also be uploaded to your option. Okay, so now it's up to you. If you want to upload the image from your device, from your computer, you can upload it. You can upload the image from library, existing library. Just click here. So you can say these are the existing images. So you can I want to select this image. When I click it, okay, so you can just resize it. What do you want to display over here? I want to this part only. So just save it. Then it will directly copy to your slide. Now you see, now it's directly copied to your option number 1. All right. So in this way, you can integrate the images to your options. That will make the slides more engaging and more learning. All right. You want to image to your whole slide? That's also possible. Just click here. It will link the image to your background. That's the background. That is also possible. Okay, you want to display the result in which type? Bar type, donut type, pie type, dots type. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, so you want to display this dot type, so result will display like this. If you want to display bar type, result will display like this. All right, so you want to show the correct answer to audience? Yes, I want to show the correct answer. Just click here. It will show the correct answer, and you have to select the correct answer. Where is the, which one is the this one correct answer? So when the slide will, or the respondent will over, it will show the correct answer to audience, to your participants. Okay, you want to show the result in percent. Right now the result is not showing display in percentage, showing 0, means 0 number of participants. If you want to show the percentage, yes, you can show the percent, so percentage will display. All right, let participant choose multiple option. You want to, if you have like we have 3 options over there, you want to add another option, option number 4, and you want to allow then they can choose multiple option 1 and 2. So you can just enable this, then participant can choose multiple option as well. Okay, so that's the first slide. Okay, in this way you can easily define the properties elements of this slide. Now you can add another slide, slide 2, add slide. The second slide, the second slides, if you want to add a cloud based, just I did, or you want to add a open-ended question, so let's just click here. So open-ended questions, which means that you just put the question and each of the participants, they can respond it. Okay, so that's the open-ended question. You can type it, and how it will display. It will display speech bubble. It will display one by one. It will display flowing grades. It's up to you. You have to decide what kind of you have to display. So here you have to type the question. Type the question over here. Okay. All right. Then another slide you can add it. Maybe you can add the question quiz competition. So quiz competition, when you will click here, so it will add 2 slides. You see slide number 3 and slide number 4. Okay, why it will add an extra slide? Because in the quiz they provide you opportunity to show the who responded very quickly and who is the winner. So that's the leaderboard slide. So that's the leaderboard. So you see, that's a slide number 4 is the leaderboard slide. That will automatically embedded by the Mentimeter. That is a good feature that will make learner more motivated and more engaging. They will feel, oh, my name is on top, my name is on second. So they will feel enjoy. So that's the quiz one. So here you can put similarly, you can put the question. You can add the options over here. You can add more option. You can add images. You can the extra thing over here. You can assign the time limit. Okay, you can say they have to respond to answer within 15 seconds. No, they have to respond to answer within 30 seconds. Within 60 seconds, you have to give the time they have to respond it. Okay. Another beauty is that you want to add a music to your slide, just add the music. That is also possible. Just upload the music file, it will be embedded. Okay, and the last is the leaderboard. If you want to remove the leaderboard, just click here, it will be removed. If you want to add the leaderboard, you can add the leaderboard. Oh, that's in this way you can develop your presentation. So it's a very simple, very easy to develop your presentation. After that, the most important thing, when your presentation is ready, when you are doing when you are sharing with your students to collaborate with them, make sure you see here the top of this slide, they show the link and the code. You have to share this code and link to your audience. They can interact with this presentation. Okay, with this specific presentation. So in this way you can develop your presentation and you can engage your learner. So that's the Mentimeter demonstration. As I earlier mentioned, it's only allows 6 slides for the free version, but for the upgraded version, you can make more slides over there. So that's in this way you can use and develop your presentation. After that, it's already saved to your account and you can access anywhere around the world. That's another advantage. So like it support learning anywhere, anytime. So I have to stop my screen sharing. So now almost my last slide. So I have to move towards conclusion. So that's the demonstration, how to develop a presentation on Mentimeter. I hope you got the idea. You can practice it in order to make sure you are perfect. You have to practice it. That's very important. So now conclusion for you, what we have learned so far, the important conclusion from a quote, John Davy: if we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. So therefore, it is very important to all of you. You have to learn how to integrate technology in your classroom by using TPEG model, by using SRM model, and understand that technology, and you can apply in your context and you can start teaching to your students. That's the conclusion. And what is the way forward to you? The way forward is that now we have to build the capacity. How we are going to build the capacity? We have to build capacity in terms of infrastructure, and infrastructure consists of physical plus digital, okay, like computer plus Mentimeter tools and other tools like virtual reality tools. Then second, at the institutional level, you have to develop the policy, ICT policy for teaching and learning, and you have to conduct capacity building program with regard to policy to your teachers, to your professionals, to your staff. And the last, we have to reimagine TVET, which means shaping up the TVET that support the ICT enabled learning and training the trainers. So thank you very much, dear participants. I hope you enjoy the session, you learn the session. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Over to you, Sandeep.
Okay, Ganiji, thank you very much for providing insight on different ICT model and the Mentimeter, how to design it, the slide, and real demonstration. And thank you for your wonderful presentation. Now, I like to invite Dr. Mustafa to start your presentation, please.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, please save your question. We'll answer your question after Dr. Mustafa presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CPSC and Dr. Ramhari and Abdul Ghani for the invitation. And it's a pleasure for me to join as one of the source person for today's session. I think it's very well explained, and my friend have already tell you the benefits and how to use the demonstration as well about the Mentimeter. This is one of the very useful collaborative learning tool. I will just further enlighten on the advantages or the importance of collaborative tools for teaching and learning process. Because as we know that in this current era of this digital shift, when we are shifting from the traditional mode of teaching during this COVID-19 to the digital mode. So I will further enlighten on this, and I think you will get something from this presentation. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So this is Dr. Mushtaba from Sakkarabi University, same as my colleague, my friend from Pakistan. So I am head of education technology and TVET research at Sakkarabi University. So first of all, if we will start with the basic terminology and the basic concept of collaborative learning, because currently this is in 21st century scale, the 21st century teaching and learning approach. This is considered as one of the most essential part of among pedagogues in teaching and learning, and this is also demand of this modern era. Like, for example, if we talk about collaborative learning or active learning, will also integrate and a part of it. The collaborative learning is most focused towards producing new or enhanced idea with the mutual collaboration from two sides. Either it's among students, or either it's a teacher and student. Because as we know, in this particular domain of teaching and learning, that it's a two-way process, and the success is on the surety of the knowledge from the learners. So the next thing that is a part of main element and ingredient of collaborative learning, it's to create or reframe knowledge. While we are talking about the beliefs and the theories which are associated and related with the pedagogues which used to take, and I think most of you have an idea about it, that the belief of constructivist, like how the constructivist belief and the approach of teaching and learning style develop that we can develop the new ideas, and we can reframe the knowledge based on our prior experiences, and experiences will be developed based on the good practices. We learn from each other. The teacher can deliver to the student, and the student will learn from their peers. So it's always one of the most, what we can call it, exciting and worthwhile experience, both for teacher and student side, that from that we will come up and construct a new knowledge, or we contribute to the body of knowledge with different dimensions. So collaboration is always considered as one of the most, either in TVET sector, either we are talking about the traditional education or the professional education. So it's always worthwhile. So this is also need of this era. And okay, so after the collaboration, what is collaborative learning? That there are several elements and components which are the integral part of it. Like, for example, when we're talking about collaborative learning, so it's giving us the assessing students to mix ability terms. Like students can also comfortable and flexible then while they are collaborating with their friends, while they're collaborating with the teachers are collaborating with international community, social, and also learning the digital skills. So this is always considered as one of the most prominent area where we can work based on the learning style of the student, either in the vocational education or either in any level of the education systems as well. So similarly, establishing positive independence, it's also giving the interdependencies among the learners and also the educators. It's helping the groups where they can process information, they can learn, they can upskill themselves. The teaching cooperative and social skills, students will also learn social skills, students will also learn the technical skills, students will also get hands-on knowledge. So these all things are the integral part of this current demand. And during this digital shift, previously it was not that much in consideration, even in the, because I'm associated with the higher education and also particularly in TVET sector as well. So when we are searching for such data, which we can find out that how much it is integrated or how much it is in practice. So the things which are in the theory and practice are quite different. But after this COVID, somehow the COVID gave us this opportunity as well, that where we can integrate or find out the importance of education technology integration and the integration of such tools and gadgets which can help us while working remotely in different domains. So I will, as my friend have also elaborated about TPEG model and also SRM model. So these are really important models when we're talking about technological, pedagogical content knowledge. So we refer to the TPEG model. There is also another model which I'm going to share with you, which is the online collaborative learning theory, which is derived through the model of technology acceptance model and also integrate the TPEG itself. So what it believes that through online collaboration, through working online, through collaborating online in terms of teaching and learning process, that we develop and construct new knowledge. We come up with the ideas, we come up with some interventions as well, and we invent and construct innovative ideas. So the knowledge and invent new ideas, innovative ideas. Also, we can engage our students, our faculty, and all the participants of the particular collaborative tool. That is also provide this opportunity while working online in a collaborative mode. And also the skills which we have, the major skills such as the problem solving skill, decision making skill, reasoning skills. So these such skills are also what we can call it that the part of this online collaborative learning, which is given by theory as well. So these four ingredients and elements will help us to further realize the importance of this online collaborative learning tools in our teaching and learning process. Either you are a pedagogue, either you are a learner. So it's essential for us to have such knowledge and skill which can provide us this beautiful, what we can call as an interactive, user-friendly environment of teaching and learning. So this is just for the overview that today's need in education. Because if we particularly talk about the need of education in our this current scenario, while we are working collaboratively, while we are working in this 21st century era of technological modernization, digitalization. So the first thing, that the changing society through education and technology, like we can use technology as a change agent to our society, where the education was not what we can call it, that access was the issue, the availability of the schools. Nowadays we have the remote schools, digital schools are there. So we have remote labs where we are providing hands-on skill to vocational students. Then they are working in the different remote localities. So it is beneficial in terms of providing them the most authentic one. So similarly, the integration of technology in our education as per the demand, like we have to look for the demand, we have to go for need analysis, and then we can focus on that, how we can use such collaborative tools, such technological tools to teach our students. And for that, we have to work on PD. We have to work on the professional development of our faculty. We have to provide them all such skills which are required to integrate the technology in education. While just talking on the different several platforms about the integration of technology, but we have to, because teacher, the educator will be the one who will integrate in the classroom. So we need to upskill them. We have to provide them such training as the training which we are currently in, so that the best experiences can be shared and the best approaches can be integrated. So through that, we can develop our competency in terms of digital literacy, in terms of getting all such skills, that how we can, or approaches, that how we can further move on. So similarly, there is a need to look at innovative, collaborative way of teaching and learning. The traditional way of teaching is now obsolete. Now we are moving towards the integration of technology. We are talking about collaborative tools. We are talking about education 4.0. We are talking about society 5.0. We are talking about the new gamification in education, the new dimension in education with the help of technology. So that's why we have to go for some innovative approaches within our systems. So this is also the need of our this current educational era of and the need of education as well in all several domains. Similarly, if we talk about the education 4.0, which is retrieved and derived from IR 4.0, that we need to integrate, we need to add on those skills in our curriculum, those skills in our pedagogical approaches, those things in our content, where the student can learn the need of the industry, particularly in this fourth industrial revolution. So if we talk about education 4.0, which also focuses, which also emphasizes on the innovation in producing education, innovation in the approaches of education, innovation in upgradation and re-engineering of our curriculum as per the need, because several things are now obsolete from the curriculum. Either it's a curriculum of vocational education, either it's a curriculum of a traditional or professional education. So we need to re-look towards, as educational experts, as a curriculum experts, we have to align the need and demand of the industry, and where it is emphasized that we need to integrate technological aspects, we need to integrate such collaborative tools, such digital tools among our learners and train our faculty to further, like we can grab the market, we can grab the industry based on the skills and needs. Similarly, because we are talking about educational tools, we are talking about collaborative learning approaches and tools. So the education 4.0 also emphasized that by using artificial intelligence, machine learning, business analytics, blockchain, digital marketing, and management information system, we can help those stakeholders or those society, or also the education sector, that they can have all the demand of the as per the demand of the skill, as per the demand of the current era. In education, as we know now, the pedagogical approaches are changed. Now we are teaching students through gamification. Now virtual reality is there. Now augmented reality is there. Now experiential learning is through virtual reality. We have developed all over the world. There are several, I think, resources you will find out on MIT's website, at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. They are developing day by day progressive in terms of providing digital laboratories to the students where they can learn experiential learning. While we're talking about TVET, TVET is also the hands-on skill, the technical skills, hands-on skills, as well as the grab on the theory as well. So where there is alignment of both, then we can drive and then we can facilitate those students, particularly those they are studying or they are teachers, they are teaching in vocational schools, in vocational training, where the hands-on is more dominant. So it's time for us, like the technologists and the pedagogues will work together and they develop such need-based required gadgets or tools where they can facilitate the students and the learners. Similarly, collaboration is still happening among us until now. Like we are still collaborating with our students. We are still collaborating. Teachers to teachers is collaborated. Also in terms of assessment, also in terms of sharing materials, also through different LMS. I think universities and schools are adapting, vocational colleges, some colleges and schools, community colleges are also working on learning management systems where the teacher and student can collaborate, they can work and demonstrate as well on the large scale, and the students can work on the theoretical and as well as the experimental. So similarly, in 21st century, when we are talking about the 21st century skills and 21st century education, so then we have to produce and create such knowledge and skill which are required as per the market demand. And that can be only happen when we will have all 4 skills or 4 C's, which are very famous 4 C's. And I will just recall in a while that communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. So these skills are required for us. When we are talking about collaboration, this is also one of the part of this 21st century, where we need to collaborate with our students through digital platforms. We have to integrate such technologies within our classrooms, also outside the classroom. What happened in the COVID situation? Those students, they were living in the remote areas. They had such issues, and now I think things are the government from all over the world, the government took initiatives as well. They installed some like towers, 4G signals, everything is there now. But previously in the start, what happened? Because there was no need previously, we had felt that there is another way of teaching as well. But now what happened, that there was the availabilities of all the resources are there, and now the students working collaboratively. They are working with the teacher, they are working with their peers, they are doing the assignments in a groups. They're even not just in the education sector, also in the business sector, the meetings, the marketing sector, they are also moving towards e-marketing, e-business, and the meetings and everything are project oriented, will be in the collaborative way. So similarly, the importance of collaborative learning in this digital social environment, and as we know that previously we will not focusing towards the virtual environment learning, but thanks to such technological tools and advancement which provide us synchronous and asynchronous mode of later on we will also focus to know that what is the synchronous and asynchronous mode of delivery that will be further give us the proper way of that we can teach in both ways. And it's also interesting that in the social environment through these the gadgets and collaborative learning tools. So the learner also feels self-directed. The learner also feels flexible. And this flexibility and self-directness will enhance and improve their skill while they are working in a comfortable environment. And they cognitively, effectively, they are very much active and developed. So what we had also experienced and conducted a research study, and the finding of research study also indicates that those students, they have the asynchronous mode of delivery from the studying or learning through asynchronous mode. They have a effective performance as compared to those they are in synchronous mode. While because they on that time they have several issues while connected to the classrooms, they are disconnected during the classroom, they have internet issues, electricity concerns, other several issues always there. But when they are studying based on their ease in the time, based on the flexibility in the environment and everything, and also peace of mind as well, so then they perform and learn effectively. So this is really interesting. And societal environment is also impactful in that particular domain. Okay, another thing which is under the importance of collaborative learning in this tool, because it's emphasize or it's boost or enhance the engagement among students. It's give them like a challenge and chance to work together. So particularly, it's continuously in our discussions that we have to engage our students. We have to like, for example, we have to develop such teaching content or activities in our teaching plan or our lesson plans, where the dominancy of the engagement among students is effective. And both of the views, what we can call it, that the physical and also the virtual, both have their good and bads. But when we move towards the hybrid mode of delivery, when we move towards the hybrid mode of teaching and learning, so particularly in hybrid mode of teaching and learning, the results and consequences are more enhanced and improved. So particularly through the student engagement is also one of the essential element. As Mr. Gani also talked about the ICT in education. So while we are talking about collaborative tools and digital tools, so we have these 6 elements we must have to work on prior to going towards the like using collaborative tools and digital technology and digital what we can call it skills for the students or teachers. Like the first thing, when we are integrating in education, then the teachers' competency and development or understanding among the teachers of usability, of integration, of collaboration through those technology or tools is very important. It's I think these are the stakeholders, these are the major elements which we can keep while we are talking about the integration of ICT in education. Then the learners acceptability, learners critical and collaborative manners, and to collaborate with other people, to collaborate with the peers and teachers, it's also very essential. And then when we are talking about teachers, learners, and then the curriculum is most important. The curriculum and the national standard or the curriculum of particular countries or even in colleges, even colleges, they are not supporting the integration of technology, then it will not give us a fruitful outcome or the response. Because if not in the policy, it's not in our assess, because we know how to assess through collaborative tools, through ICT, how to teach through, how to share the material, how to develop or engage students through those collaborative tools, as like Google Doc, when we can create it on Google Drive, how we can engage such small skills are need to be taught to the teachers, that how they can engage their students for assignments, how they can use digital platforms, collaborative platforms for the assessment. So similarly, the education policy and most important thing is EIS. EIS is a educational information services, where such learning management systems are integrated, collaborative learning tools are integrated. So then it will be more impressive. And then the most important thing is the infrastructure. Infrastructure is the most important thing when we are talking about such things. We have to know that either these are important things, these are the integral things, these are the need of for us, but either it is like what we can call it, that either the student or the teachers have access to these. Like for example, if just as a pedagogue, I will just focus to integrate that, but I have to ensure, I have to know that either the students are also taking participation in this, then it will be fruitful, then it will be give us the more advantages and benefits, and then its importance will be boosted further. So similarly, like the benefits of collaborative tools in education, because it gives us global access to the knowledge, we can get the new knowledge, we can work collaboratively, we can work with our peers, so we can interact with the international community as well. So in that way, we can have the global access to the knowledge. Similarly, instant sharing of experiences and best practices, like we can learn through good practices of each other, good approaches, excellent approaches, successful approaches. So the learning from other is through collaborative tools in education is more beneficial for us. Similarly, while we are working on hands-on things in a collaborative way, such as simulation and or specifically for experiential learning. So such tools, collaborative tools, help us, those students, they are in the engineering domain or TVET domain. So such tools or collaborative workstation for experiential learning or experimental work will help us to fulfill our task or our learning process. So it's as we know that while working with technology and the several such study, and as psychologists conducted the study, it's indicated and specified that like more than 70% students are feeling enjoyable and motivated while working while studying in an interactive environment. So this is also one of the benefits that this interactive environment technology provides us while teaching on whiteboard or blackboard or through chalk and board. So it's a bit not that much interactive and boring for the students. So while giving them technology and such tools where they can discuss and share their ideas, so this is joyful for them through multimedia and such technology. Similarly, this is also opening another new window of innovative thoughts, ideas, and giving us the environment of innovation where we can learn in an effective manner. And the last thing, there are several benefits, but I have from the previous experiences as well, and also from several literature, that it's give motivation to the students. It motivate them and give them excitement while collaborating through digital platforms. So these are the skills which are 21st century skills, which we also talked about the critical thinking, collaboration, problem solving, communication and creativity. And critical thinking will be further focusing on reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. And then collaboration is more like cooperation. We can also initiate some leadership initiatives. We can develop teamwork skills. You can also get from such platforms or such this also need of this 21st century. And we are very responsive and in terms of constructive feedback to the audience or to the students. So these skills, 4 C's, are essential, and I think we already discussed this previously, that it put impact on overall performance of the student and teacher. If we integrate or we take these 4 skills while planning anything, while planning our for example, learning outcomes, our program learning outcome, class learning out, CLOs, PLOs, LOs, whenever we are planning, so then we have to keep this, that either any one of the skill will be enhanced and integrated among students in our learning. So these are the skills, and collaboration is already there. So that's why it's important for us. And as we know that nowadays in 21st century, now it's a basic need. Previously that food, shelter, and clothes. Now computer and internet is also integral part for us, for each and every human being. Like first, what we used to do whenever we wake up, and we used to check our phone. If there is no internet in the phone, then we are worried. There is no Wi-Fi. So now it's also acceptance among the society, and also in our cognitive process. It's already there that computer and internet also integral part of our daily life. So not just in education, in all domains we are using it. So then that's why it's important for us that we have to use it effectively in our educational processes, in our other medical industry and other domains as well. So this is also need for us as we have in previously, there are several needs of basic human needs but now internet is also one of the needs. So now the online collaborative tools, technological tools, ICT tools for education are easily accessed for us. We can easily access to them. We can easily learn from those. There are several, I think millions and trillions of videos, data, resources are available on education technology. Several tools, several technological advanced online open source softwares are available for collaborative learning, for educational technology, for other skills as well. So there is a progress. Day by day, there is a progress, because the technology is the most evolving and updated kind of thing. So it's give us innovation from a daily perspective. So it's also one of the basic need. And the fundamental digital skills of our 21st century teachers, it's also give us these 9 major skills that the teacher can have and must possess these digital skills, which are the fundamental skills for 21st century teachers. So the skills such as that either it's not necessary that the teacher is a technology teacher, computer teacher, or teaching education technology. All the teachers, if someone is teaching sociology, if someone's teaching psychology, if someone is teaching technology, literature, English, each and everyone have the idea and grip on such skills. These are the very small skills. Through that we can engage our students and we can develop our content, such as teachers know how to record, edit the video clips, audio clips. Teacher know how to develop infographics and posters, know how to create PLNs, personal learning networks, how to grow, because PD is also important. Professional development of teacher is also important, because in that case, teacher will be updated. Otherwise, we will not get such skills that what is happening in TVET, what is the new framework is introduced, what are the new way of teaching, what are the new pedagogies, what are the new digital innovative tools which we can offer to our classroom. So for that, we must have to grow professionally. Then teachers know how to create wikis, blogs, and create spaces for students where they can learn collaboratively, where they can learn in a good way, in a proper way. And then create engaging presentation, as you also did in Menti just now, that how to create a presentation, and then also create digital portfolios for the teachers, that how we can create digital portfolios. Then also organize and share digital resources and create digital quizzes. So all the teachers must have the skill and grip on these 9 fundamental digital skills for this 21st century teachers. And now I think we realize this, that this is also also time for us. And the other ways, we have the next slide, we will have some major main, there are several, but the main collaborative tools are there. So the collaborative domains we are doing through social networking, we are doing through like discussion boards, like real-time collaboration in writing, web conferencing, meeting, social bookmarking, project management, resource sharing. So in all these domains, we are collaborating. Until now, we are like, this is happening like by today as well, that we are collaborating on all such domains somehow from 2 sides. Like working domains of collaborative tools, like we have Mentimeter, which is very famous, and we're also using this and get the experience of this, where we can create engaging presentation, where we can do the assessment processes, where we can create the discussion slots. So it's offer a lot to us. Similarly, Edmodo, I think it's very common and famous. MSN is giving us this, and also updating by day to day. Edmodo, we can interact with the international teachers, we can create our classes, quizzes, and also like develop such innovative what we can platform for the students, where they can engage and share the material as well, either in an asynchronous mode. And Easy Class is also similar to that. It's also provide us a collaborative teaching and learning platform. Penpal School is there, Twiddle is there, Google Drive, as we all know that, then WeTransfer, and then also Google Classroom. So these are the most common and famous kind of collaborative tools. Some of them are synchronous, some of them are asynchronous. And also, I will also say that Google Meet, Zoom, they are also giving us this collaborative nature of platform, where we can like synchronously collaborate through our such webinars and the classes as well. So similar to that, synchronous and asynchronous communication, where there is no lag of time, and because these collaborative tools having different options, some of them are open source, some of them are like Mentimeter, we need to pay something. And then similarly, we have to, if we talk about like Edmodo, Easy Class, so they are open source, easily we can do this. So these things will provide us like advantage and benefit in terms of its usability. So similarly, because now in this current era, and I think the coming slide will also focusing towards the current scenario and the post-COVID situation. And currently we know that as in all over the world, the situation, and we can also pray to God that we will come out from this situation of COVID-19, because it's also offering us this challenge, but we can consider also it as opportunity. So I will quote here the George Bernard Shaw quotation that progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their approach cannot change anything. So particularly if we talk about this quote, so now we have to accept the change. We have to welcome this change, and then in that particular change, we can learn as well, and taking it as an opportunity. And then if we talk about some other aspects which are interrelated with this collaborative tools and gadgets, that we can talk about the blended learning. While in this situation, when we talking about this social distancing and the particular SOPs we need to follow for COVID-19. So in that way, these collaborative online tools offered us through blended learning, like we can have variety of or mixed online learning materials and tools, where we can engage and assure a surety of learning. We can ensure that either the learning process is going on smooth, effectively. So this as a blended learning tool, what we can call it, one of the offering to us, that where we can increase our working together collaborative approach, and while maintaining the social distancing as well, and offering and developing those skills where we have a lack. So these like collaborative tools also beneficial, particularly for this as well. And similarly, as the concept of flipped classroom, a teacher can also engage the students, and the most part they can work through such collaborative tools, because this is also one of the advantage and the importance of collaborative tool. Like in this COVID situation, I think it's amazing for us. Like if most of us, I think, use such approaches already in our classes, like the flipped classroom approach, that we give the students and interact with them. The assignments and the task in the like for the assessing them at the or working on it at the home, and then we work with them collaboratively. They will also work collaboratively by using such online platforms with their peers, and then they have a slot of discussion with the teacher later on, and then they have something they can ask to the teacher, and in that way we can maintain such social distancing as well. So, and also it will enhance while working in a group with teacher and solve our problem and concepts, and also conceptualization misunderstandings as well. So the importance of this digital learning spaces during this COVID-19, as we have talked about it, that in the start we have saw that more than half of the population of the world is out of school, and the schools were closed due to lockdown. But somehow in the most of the countries, it was they shifted to online mode of delivery. So in that particular way, in that particular process, the schools scrambling to quick adapt a new way of doing things, and that was only possible through online. So the importance of the virtual classroom was not appeared before. So then we realized that we can also work in that dominant way. We can also work in the way where we can also work collaboratively. We can interact interactively not in the traditional class, also in the virtual classroom. And these communication will further the student feel comfortable, and the student accept this, and teachers also accept this. And it's also we can categorize, and we did the need analysis, that how we can like use particular approach for our students. Like teachers divided the groups. Teachers, what they did, they divided the group. Those students, they have no challenge and concern in terms of connectivity. They have no issue and concern in terms of electricity and other resources as well. So they put them in the domain of asynchronous, where they can work through such platforms like Edmodo, Easy Class, and such LMS given by ERPs. So, and those they can work in asynchronous mode. So they give and offer them different way of digital tools for collaborative learning. So this is also demand oriented and individual students need. So I think it's very effective way of dealing in this pandemic situation. So that's the teachers also share the virtual workspace with the teachers as well. They conduct the meetings, other assignments, other professional duties they perform. That was engaging way of collaboration among learners, and they share the resources and materials with the students as well. And this allows students to communicate in the manner they are most comfortable, flexible. And it's also the assessment was flexible. The assessment gave us a very proper and effective way for easily adapting the individual students' need and provide them further required skill and things that are need for us as individual. Okay, similarly, there are several platforms which allow this breakout session when we talk about the working in collaborative groups, working in a groups. So I think many platforms offer this to us, that we can break the class into groups, and student work collaborate. Student learn in the proper effective way. And nowadays, like we already know that nowadays we have innovative digital whiteboards tools are also available, where we can teach through this collaborative tools to the math students, to those they are using some calculation, they are using some kind of explanation through. So whiteboards, softwares are also available, gadgets as we already have, as we know. And then the students can perform the experimental work as well in the group. They can brainstorm, they can learn through that collaborative mode as well. So that's all from my side, and thank you very much once again. And I hope you will learn some new things from the both sessions, both speakers. So thank you very much to the organizers, and I wish you all the best, all the participants from all over the world. Thank you so much, and Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, Dr. Mustafa, thank you very much for a wonderful presentation, sharing with us different ICT collaborative tools and way to collaborate and use different tools and online portal. So thank you very much. Now it's the time for question and answer. Ganiji?
Yes, Sunil.
Actually, I did not find any question in the chat box. So
yes, I received two questions. Number one is the participant was asking about the payment of the Mentimeter. It's a free software or it's a paid version. So I mentioned during my session, it's a paid version, but they are offering limited functionality with free of course. So you have to buy it. You have to buy the plan. And another question is, can participants obtain scores for correct answer? Definitely. That's the beauty of the Mentimeter.com. Participant will get a score, and based on the score, you can analyze and you can interpret it. So that's possible over there. So these are the two questions from my side. So maybe dear participants, if you have more questions, you may ask right now. Floor is open.
Yeah, there is one question. Is Mentimeter functional only for those with internet connection? I think yes. I can also answer. I think yes.
Exactly. Yeah. With internet. So you may ask question to Dr. Mustafa. Thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa, and you can ask question to me. We are here to facilitate your question answer.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Mr. Ghani.
Okay. So I think there are no questions.
I think things are very clear.
Yeah, so we are coming to the concluding part of this webinar. So now I'd like to request our respected Director General, Dr. Ramari Lamesani, to close this webinar session. Thank you all, distinguished participants.
Thank you, Sanyogji. very valuable speakers, Dr. Asad and Engineer Ghani, and all the respected participants, not only from CPSC member country around the globe. On behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, once again, I would like to thank all of you, especially for the presenter and the webinar participants who devoted their time and commitment for the learning and sharing some questions. As speakers mentions about the importance of technology, especially ICT in the education sector, that is very true. In today's world, or especially 21st centuries, today we are in the 21st century, the today's illiterate person is not the persons lacking reading and writing. The illiterate person is that who cannot use and utilize ICT tools and technology. That is the new definition of illiteracy. In this context, we are in the education sector and we are the pioneer, and we are equipping knowledge, skills, and attitude to the youth, especially youth, because we are in Tibet sector. That's why our core role is to equip new technology, like Dr. Asad mentioned, like Education 4.0, to address the IR 4.0, and even nowadays, you can find many literature. There is already started IR 5.0. The IR 5.0 is the co-working competencies with robot or digital technology by human. That is the IR 5.0. So we should be prepared in that line, and we have to prepare workforce who can mutually work with robot and digital technology. That's why in our classroom, in our learning environment, please assess. We have to assess our learning environment, where we are and where do we want to reach after 10 years, and how can we fulfill that gaps of the technology, or especially the learner-centered learning environment. So we have to create learner-centered learning environment, not thinking today's education, thinking tomorrow's education, thinking tomorrow's competencies for the labor market, because we are producing workforce for tomorrow, not for today. So some places I am seeing, this institution is working for today's education. No, we are working for tomorrow's education, tomorrow's competencies, because our student will be graduated after 3 years, and they will work in the labor market after 3 years who enrolled today. Or if we are enrolling in general education, let's say grade 1, maybe that persons will go to the labor market after 16 years or after 10 years. Means we have to teach them such competencies what will be in after 10 years or after 15 years or after 5 years. That's why we have to think that way. And I saw in that chat box one questions. The presentation was good, but in the remote places, if there is no internet and electricity, how can we develop learning environment? That is definitely true. That's why we have to focus. We have to focus nowadays. Many government, even in the South Asia, most of the government, they are focusing on ICT and digital technology and providing free internet to all sort of educational institutions. That is the priority sector of government. Hope one day it will be fulfilled. Not only because many places there are no electricity, but in that case, we cannot implement 100% ICT based thing. You are right, but we can think about different mode of distance learning things, like do not rely only with the face-to-face teacher learning. We can apply some project-based learning, program-based learning, some distance mode of learning like radio, televisions. We can use different things But our focus should be in ICT and digital technology base. That is the message given by the two presenters. Thank you for them. And as I mentioned, we have to incorporate all the 21st century skills. So please be familiar with 21st century skills framework. If we are not equipping those skills, our courses will not be complete, and our graduate will not be as par what the industries are looking for. If we have to provide competent workforce for the labor market, definitely we have to be familiar with what are the technologies and information and especially information and communication technology they are using. You can just simply imagine your home inside your house. Nowadays, our family members will not speak each other. They can speak with the mobile. And if there are 4 persons, they chat with Facebook, mobile, or let's say WhatsApp. Nobody talk. Because of the social media, we are lacking social skills. That is another challenge for the educators like we. So we have to think about how can we build social skills, because social skills are also part of the 21st century, not only ICT. So 4 C's, that is very important. Similarly, we have to think about how can we produce socially valuable persons, or another word, good citizen for the country, civic citizen, civic society we have to develop. So with these words, I would like to, once again, I would like to thanks for the both presenter and but one thing I want to share here, today definitely it could be like a ICT based education type of topic, but we use the webinar topic is Mentimeter, learning about Mentimeter, and don't think CPSC is promoting Mentimeter, and CPSC has not taken any agency of the Mentimeter.com. I have to be clear on that. Just we are promoting Mentimeter types of technology or software or apps. There are thousands others. There are different apps, not only Mentimeter we can use. So that's why this is just a message, and this will be very good for because nowadays most of the TVET institution and education institutions, they are online or mostly with a Zoom based learning they are doing. So in this purpose, to ask questions to students, to get their response and to collect some feedbacks, this Mentimeter will be very fruitful. One of the I'm saying one of the best tools. So there are many other tools. Our message is just use ICT and digital technology. So we should be equipped with that. And this time is very good time to capacitate our human resource. We have to train our teacher in ICT and digital technology. Similarly, we have to develop, as Ghaniji mentioned, we have to develop our infrastructure, ICT and digital technology based infrastructures. And we have to link those infrastructures with the industry's requirement. Then only we can impart the knowledge, skills, and attitude what 21st century is looking for. Thank you very much. And on behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, I would like to say once again, thank you. Namaste, Maravi Salawat po, and Terima kasih for our Malaysian friend. Thank you very much. Thank you for the speaker. Thank you, Dr. Azad. Inshallah, we'll meet one day in Pakistan.
Inshallah.
I'm planning to come in November, definitely. So thank you very much. See you again. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, Dr. Ramari. Thank you, Samirji. Thank you, presenter. Namaste and bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.